Hi, and welcome back to Arno TV. I'm your lovable host Arno, coming back to you with another video. Well, I'm back today, people, because today is a very, very, very dark day. And I've said before that these people, our disgraceful leaders across all of Western Europe, the United States, the whole of the Western world, are a disgrace. Okay, and we are starting to see now what the intention of these people are. And when I say it's a dark day, when I got up this morning and saw what the news was, if you've not seen it, let me go over to the internet and show you what is going on in Europe right now. So when I've told you out there that lockdowns are coming and this pandemic is far from over, I am not kidding you. And these people, these disgraceful people, have now ramped this up to a different level. So things now are starting to get very, very serious. And if we're not careful, as I've said, we are going to end up in a draconian, Orwellian super state globally that's spearheaded by people like Schwab and his acolytes. That is where we're going, people. So let's go over to the internet. Let's go over to the internet, because if anybody has not seen this and wants to think that this is conspiracy theory, should I say, now is the time to open your damn eyes. Okay? So we are going over to the internet. So let's just go over to the internet and show you something, because if you've not seen this, you need to see it. So what I'm talking about is today, Austria, you know, a country in Europe, a democratic country in Europe, has placed another lockdown. But not a lockdown like we had before. Oh no. This lockdown is a lockdown of the unvaccinated population. Okay? This is where we are going if we allow these type of people to continue with this plan that they're all pushing. Okay? This is where we're going. This is an article today in The Guardian about this. So let's have a little read. Let's have a little read, shall we, of this article for you know, as in case there's anybody still out there that wants to think that Arno TV puts out conspiracy theory. Okay, let's just have a read of this article. And bear in mind, this is today, this has happened today in Europe. Okay, so Austrian police carry out routine checks as unvaccinated enter lockdown. Experts warn rules will be hard to enforce as country records highest COVID infection rate in Western Europe. Police in Austria have begun carrying out routine checks on commuters to ensure compliance with a nationwide lockdown for the unvaccinated. In the Alpine country, as the Alpine country tries to get on top of one of the most rapidly rising infection rates in Europe. The restrictions which came into effect Monday morning today, okay, will affect almost 2 million Austrian citizens aged 12 and older who have so far not been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The 356,000 people who have been vaccinated only once can be released from lockdown if they show a negative PCR test. Okay, this is where we are going, people. Those who are found to be in breach of the rules face fines between €500 and €3,600. Okay, are you happy with this, people out there? You know, people who have been burying their head in the sand about what these people are up to. Are you happy with this? The idea that unvaccinated people in Austria, 2 million people, can be routinely checked by the police if they're aged 12 and above. This is what these disgusting, despicable, abhorrent people are up to. And it's about time that people started to wake up. This is where we are heading. We've heard recent comments by people like Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, talking about it's exactly their intentions to create a two-tier society. This is what it is, that vaccinated people will have more rights than unvaccinated people. This is where we are heading with these kind of people. And it's about time that we all started to wake up to what these people are doing and the type of people we are dealing with. I want to ask people a question out there. Now, if anybody chooses to get vaccinated, that's perfectly fine. That's their decision. It's everybody's choice to make that decision or not to make that decision. That it's up to the individual. But no matter what situation you're in, if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, I want to ask you a question, okay? If you are unvaccinated, can you get COVID? If you're vaccinated, can you get COVID? If you're vaccinated, can you pass COVID on to somebody else? If you're unvaccinated, can you pass COVID on to somebody else? The answer to those questions are yes for both. Okay, so how can it be right that we are locking down people who are unvaccinated? Okay, because just because you have a vaccine doesn't stop you passing the virus on to somebody else. It doesn't stop you catching the virus. It doesn't stop you getting ill, does it? So what on earth is going on here, people? This is absolutely disgraceful. And I want to remind people out there that, in the 1930s, we had a regime over in Germany that decided to strip people of their civil rights and stop them doing all sorts of things and give them much less rights than other people. Is that not what we're doing here? This is absolutely disgraceful. The idea that somebody's personal choice not to have a medical procedure and it's everybody's right to do what they want with their own body is then gonna, forfeit, like people like Esther Ranson have said, healthcare, or, have you in a situation where you can't leave your house. This is unbelievable. And this is not conspiracy theory. This is happening today in Austria. Okay? So this is coming, people. I am telling you all right now, future lockdowns in the UK are not over. And this is what's going on in Europe. And we saw late last year all the draconian measures and laws that were passed, like the epidemic law, the infection protection law, the global security bill. This is what was going on over there, stripping people of their civil liberties. And then what happened here? We had the same kind of thing, as I predicted. So I am predicting that this kind of thing is coming to the UK. And if people now, if you're comfortable with this, there really is absolutely no hope for you. This idea is absolutely disgraceful. And it doesn't end there, because we've seen very little about this in the British media as well, because in Germany, parts of Germany, this is an article about Berlin. Berlin bans unvaccinated from entertainment venues as Germany battles record-breaking COVID cases. So in parts of Germany, they are banning unvaccinated people from events, bars, restaurants, etc. This is what these people are up to. Okay, and as always, the links are going to be in the description. But this is what is going on. Okay, so anybody out there that wants to bury their head in the sand about this, then good luck to you, because this is coming. I'm not kidding you, people. This is on its way. And if we do not start to push back against this right now, we are going to end up in a very, very, very dark place. What are these people going to suggest next? That people who are unvaccinated are taken away and put into camps? Is that what's next? This is the kind of agenda and the mantra that these people are now pushing, and the narrative that they're pushing. These people have a lot to answer for, and there's no disputing this. This is reality today in November 2021. Okay, this is what's going on, people. And you know, as I've said, if you think the ideas of winter lockdowns and further lockdowns in the UK are over, then you're living in cloud cuckoo land, because even today, again, I'll leave the link in the description, there's not been much coverage of this. This is on Bristol Live, one of the few UK outlets that are covering this story. Boris Johnson cannot rule out Christmas lockdown. This is today, okay? So, you know, bearing in mind that in Austria, that they've got a lockdown on the unvaccinated, and in Germany they're banning unvaccinated people from bars and restaurants and events. When we have a lockdown, when it happens, what do you think the chances are of them trying to do this kind of thing here? This is absolutely disgraceful what these people are up to. And if you cannot see that this is the thin end of the wedge, these, you know, you really are asleep, because this idea that these people are pushing is absolutely abhorrent, okay? And we, as a society, need to start pushing back right now against this, because if we go down this route and people do not push back against this kind of thing, democracy is over. It's dead. It's gone. And that is a simple reality that people have to wake up and start realizing what on earth is going on here, because this is what is going on today in Europe. Okay, and let's just think as well, you know, something else that the media you know, have shed zero light on. Okay, you know, we've talked about this before on Arno TV, the tender that they pushed through, you know, under the table late last year on the TED Tenders Electronic Daily website, that no media outlets or TV stations or social media has covered at all. Surprise, surprise, because they're all working hand in hand with people like Schwab. It's quite clear, okay? But just to remind people of this, you know, with these kind of revelations going on, just to remind people, okay, there are legitimate reasons that people may choose not to want to take a vaccine. There are legitimate concerns, okay, but the media don't want to talk about that. For example, yellow card reporting, okay? This is on .gov.uk. And for anybody that's not watched Arno TV before, what yellow card reporting is when people have had adverse drug reactions or ADRs or adverse events to a COVID-19 vaccine, okay? These are the official figures, okay? So as of the 3rd of November 2021 for the UK, 128,734 yellow cards have been reported for the COVID-19 Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. 236,386 have been reported for the COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca. 17,321 for the COVID-19 Moderna, and 203 have been reported where the brand of the vaccine was not specified. For the COVID-19 Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca and COVID-19 Moderna, the overall reporting is around 3 to 6 yellow cards per 1,000 doses administered. In the week since the previous summary for October the 27th, 2021, we have received a further 2,131 yellow cards for the COVID-19 Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, 511 for the COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca, 134 for the COVID-19 Moderna, and 18 where the brands were not specified. So these are the official figures on the government website, okay? For people who have had ADRs and adverse events to any one of the vaccines, okay? They're not small numbers, are they? They're not small numbers, are they? And are any of the media covering any of this? No, they are silent about it. And you can read through this, I'll leave the link in the description, and you can read about the kind of adverse events that people have, okay? It's all on the government website. And as we were talking about that tender, and we're talking about those ADRs, okay, let's just point something out to you. This, and again, I'll leave the link in the description, this is the tender that our despicable, disgraceful government did under the table on the TED, Tenders Electronic Daily website, in October last year, okay? And for anybody that's not watched Arno TV before, this is a supplement to the official journal of the EU, and until the 31st of December last year, 2020, we were still actually in the EU. Now, last year, we were in a transition period, weren't we? But we were still in the EU, and what our disgraceful government did is they put out a tender on a procurement site, an EU procurement site, which is what any local or national government has to do. If they want to procure something and you're part of the EU, you have to put it out to tender so all companies all over Europe can bid for that work, okay? And our government, under the table, put out a tender last year. And for anybody that wants to think that Arno TV spreads conspiracy theory or anything like that, let me give you an explanation of what this tender is about, okay? For reasons of extreme urgency, under Regulation 32 in brackets 2 in brackets C, related to the release of a COVID-19 vaccine, the MHRA, and who are they? The MHRA, they are the regulatory body of the NHS who have been working hand in hand with Matt Hancock since the start of this pandemic and all the way through this crisis. I've accelerated the sourcing and implementation of a vaccine-specific AI software tool. Okay? And it's strictly necessary because it's not possible to retrofit the MHRA's legacy systems to handle the volume of ADRs that will be generated by a COVID-19 vaccine. Therefore, if the MHRA does not implement the AI tool, it will be unable to process these ADRs, which are adverse drug reactions, effectively. And this will hinder its ability to rapidly identify any potential safety issues with the COVID-19 vaccine and represents a direct threat to patient life and public health. And the reasons of extreme urgency, the MHRA recognises that its planned procurement process of the Safety Connect programme, including the AI software tool, will not have concluded by the vaccine launch, leading to an inability to effectively monitor adverse reactions to the COVID-19 vaccine. So did you hear that? I'll read that for you again, just so you understand the gravity of this, because the MHRA recognises that its planned procurement process for the Safety Connect programme, including the AI tool, would not have concluded by the vaccine's launch, leading to an inability to effectively monitor adverse reactions to a COVID-19 vaccine. So they launched the vaccine in December last year, but they didn't have this AI software tool in place to track all these ADRs. So this yellow card reporting on the government website, I wonder when this AI tool was put into place and how accurate these figures are. Because they're saying here that it wouldn't be in place by the time the vaccine launched. The vaccine launched in December. So when did this get put into place? Okay, let's ask ourselves that. You know, when they're locking up unvaccinated people. And let me point out as well let me point out as well that this tender was that they spent £1.5 million on was granted to a company called Genpact, who've had an association with Matt Hancock since 2014. This is where these people have taken us, and now, knowing all this, they're locking up unvaccinated people. This is where we are at with these people. So, you know, when people have accused me before of talking about conspiracy theory, today we have a government in Europe locking up unvaccinated people. Okay? So I want you to think about that, because if you're happy with this, then there really, really is no hope for you. And it's about time, as I've said on many occasions, that people started seriously thinking now about what is going on. Because if you're comfortable with this idea, and trust me, they're going to try and do this here, then there's no hope for you. It's time, people, that we started pushing back against this kind of thing. This is a disgrace, and I'm absolutely disgusted that this is the news today. Okay? So, you know, if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more, then please like and subscribe to this channel, because I refuse to stay silent while this type of thing is going on. And, you know, if you choose to subscribe to Arno TV, please ring the notification bell so I can inform you guys of future videos that I'm going to be putting out about what's going on and all these type of people, because they are a disgrace, and it's as simple as that. So I'm going to be back soon with some more videos for you guys, but until I am, I want everybody to take care of themselves. I want you know, you to look after each other. Stay rock and roll, and I'll be back soon.